Hi everybody, this is Symphonico coming at you with my 14th comic book haul, the Big 1-4. In just 2 more comic hauls, I'll be able to drive. Well, I think I'll be able to drive. When I turned 16, essentially the state of Georgia threw a license at me, but that was back in another century. So I suppose things are different now, but I'm crossing my fingers, and in 2 hauls, I will be driving the Batmobile around to pick my comic books up. Anyway, before I get started with the haul, I've got a couple more shout-outs. So these good people have completed the task that I set before them. They have searched through their comics. They've searched through, apparently, some of them have searched through their books. Not their comic books, their books. And they have found something that they believe to be culturally significant. And you want to know what? I've watched their videos and I agree. So here we go. And all of their names and their channels will be linked in the description. But without further ado, we have Weapon X Squall Comics, The 88 Jester, Silver Aged Dave. I think we all know who Silver Aged Dave is. He is the godfather of books. Let's not forget Funk Off, not the bad word, I mean funk as in funky. And last but not least, in a really good intro, I must say, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Thanos Comics. Okay, so let's get started with the haul. I'll actually have a large number of books that I picked up this week, or maybe last week. No, I think it was all this week from your new comic book day type books. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so I picked up Thanos, the second print variant, for number 14. Yeah, the Thanos, he's hot. The book is hot. The Purple Man is hot. Cosmic Ghost Rider is hot. I don't know if it's gonna last, but you know what? I'll dip my toe in the Thanos waters and see if he bites. Moving on, I picked up Infinity Countdown number 1, the Gustavo Duarte variant cover. Got this for cover price. Thought it was pretty cool. I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan, so hard to pass up on a lot of Groot and a little bit of the Rocket Raccoon. I picked up Infinity Countdown, the Adi Gronoff trade dress variant. I also have the Virgin variant coming in the mail. I believe this is a beautiful piece of art, and I just couldn't pass up having 2 copies of it. One the Virgin, and this one the trade. Like everyone else, I picked up 797, the Amazing Spiderman. The Alex Ross cover, not the Bob Ross cover. As you'll notice, there is a green goblin, but there are no green trees, or happy trees. I also picked up the Ed McGuinness design variant. I believe this is a 1 in 10 variant. Normally, I'm not a design variant fan, and frankly, this one, I mean, it really doesn't register to me much better than okay, or, well, good for design variant, okay just for cover. But Red Goblin, like Cosmic Ghost Rider, is hot, so can't pass them up. Picked up The Walking Dead 177. This is the first appearance of Mercer. If you watch one of my last videos, 176 was the first mention of Mercer. This is the first appearance and first cover. I do have the Bill Sienkiewicz, or I'm probably mispronouncing that, the Governor variant waiting for me in my pull box for whatever reason. It was in my pull box originally, and I didn't grab it. Picked up Oblivion song number 1. You can't go wrong with a Kirkman premiere issue. Obviously, this has been printed through the roof, but you know. So I picked up a couple copies of Gideon Falls. I picked up 1 and 2 copies of the Jock cover variant. I'm a big fan of Jock the artist. Yeah, I think this is probably not his best work, but certainly some of his better work. And I was only going to get these 2 But I did see the Virgin variant for cover, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that one as well. Moving on, I picked up the Rick and Morty Presents The Vindicators. This is cover B. I like cover A better, but they didn't have cover A. And apparently this is the first appearance of Pickle Rick, and that's obviously in comics, because he's shown up on like every t-shirt at a Comic-Con, and obviously the TV show. I'm hoping to find the Emerald City Comic-Con variant of this for a price that's not crazy. They do have the variant, but so far I have not succeeded in that, so I'll have to live with this one. Next I have some DC stuff. I got Superman number 42. This is the first appearance of Bizarro Boy. Really love the cover, the homage to some classic art. And as always, I pick up the Frank Cho covers for Harley Quinn. This one's not too bad. Moving on to some of the variant covers that I've picked up recently. So this is X-Men Second Coming Chapter 1, the David Finch second print variant. Yeah, it's really quite impressive. I'm betting on Hope Summers being pretty big. I like the character as she is, and I really think that with the movie, the Deadpool movie out, and some of the hints that they've given, and you know, just some other bits, and you know, an injection of youthfulness into the, well, what will hopefully be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I guess currently is not, will be helpful. If if you think about it, a lot of the characters who may have started out playing, or the actors who started out playing some of these characters were young when they started out, but they're not that young anymore. I always want to say Luke Evans, but it's Chris Evans. You know, they're all at least in their upper 30s. If not much older for Robert Downey Jr. So we're going to have to see some youth coming in. I mean, even Chris Pratt, who is younger, is still in like his I think at least his mid-30s, if not older than that. I mean, so we're you know, they're going to want to get some younger people in. I hope Hope Summers, you know, makes it. Again, that's if Deadpool and like the X-Men do officially, I guess, get folded into the Disney Marvel universe, which I'm not exactly sure of the status on that right now. So yeah, I bought Venom number 1, the 1 in 15, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce Paulo's last name variant. Just thought it was pretty cool, like the white cutout. You know, thought that was something I should have in my collection. I picked up the Marjorie Liu cover for X-23 number 1. It's just a nice cover. Picked up the Matina variant cover for Super Sons number 1. This is the colored one, not the black and white one. It's interesting. I know a lot of people prefer the black and white covers, or the versions of these things. And I know that partially that's because they have lower print runs, but to me the colored ones almost are always more pleasing to the eye. And since I'm not so worried about these being the big book in my collection, I usually go for them. Last for the covers, I've got Sex Criminals number 11. This is the second printing sketch cover with sketches by Chip Zdarsky and signed by Chip. So if you look closely at what was sketched, you'll notice it's somewhat inappropriate, but I'll leave it at that. Alrighty, moving on to some of the key books that I've bought recently. And by recently, I mean really in the last couple of days, or at least have gotten in the mail. So, the Great Legend, he recommended The Sixth Gun. And when the Great Legend says do something, that voice, it's pretty powerful. I decided I had to follow suit, downloaded the entire series off of Comixology, and I wanted the first printing, or the first appearance, and that is the Free Comic Book Day of The Sixth Gun number 1. I believe this came out in May of 2010. The actual issue number 1 came out in July. All Alright, so I picked up Wolverine 154 and 155. These are guest appearances of Deadpool. Both of them have Rob Liefeld covers. Picked up X-Men 205. If you saw in one of my last hauls, I had picked up the second printing variant. This is the first appearance of Hope Summers. And this is the J. Scott Campbell cover, the 1 in 20 variant. Of all of them, I like the second printing one better. Picked up the Silver Surfer number 44, the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. Picked up Marvel Team Up Spider-Man and introducing Marvel's newest sensation, Mockingbird. This is the first appearance of Mockingbird. Picked up Star Wars 107. This is the hard to find last issue. And it's really interesting. If you look at the art, they really, really don't look like their movie counterparts. There you go. Picked up Black Panther number 1, the premiere issue, and also the Jack Kirby story and art. So, yep, can't pass up on Black Panther, can't pass up on Jack Kirby. Put the two together, and it's a must-have. Picked up the Amazing Spider-Man 122. This is the quote-unquote Death of the Green Goblin. And this is one of the few Amazing Spider-Man keys that I don't own, other than obviously 1 and Amazing Fantasy 15. So I've been trying to pick those up when I see them for a reasonable price and reasonable condition. Alright, couple more books and then we are done. I picked up Tales of Suspense featuring Iron Man and Captain America number 75. This is the first appearance of Sharon Carter, Agent 13. So now I have the first appearance of Peggy Carter, which is actually 77, and the first appearance of her what was originally sister, but now is her niece, Sharon Carter, which is issue 75. Picked up Fantastic Four 36, the first appearance of the Frightful Four and Medusa. Picked up Here Comes the Daredevil, the Man Without Fear number 2. This is the second appearance of Daredevil and the second appearance of Electro. The first appearance of Electro, I believe, is in Amazing Spider-Man 9. But it might be 8. I can't remember. It's one of those two. Alright, what do I have next? Here I have Daredevil, Volume 2, Number 1. This is the Kevin Smith one. It's signed by Jimmy Palmiotti. And it's got he also did a Daredevil sketch. It's a 7.0 because of the back, but the front presents well, and I got it for, I mean, honestly, for about what it cost to get it, do the Signature Series signing. So I'm quite pleased with this. I like it a good bit. I wish Kevin Smith's autograph was on it as well, but yeah. Just didn't happen. Alright, 2 more books left, and these are big ones. One of them because I just never, in a million years, thought I would ever find one of these. I wasn't really sure that they even existed. I mean, I know that they did, but I'm still quite pleased. And the other because it's definitely one of my personal favorites. It's just one of those books that I've wanted forever, and it's just never quite worked out where I got it, and now I do. So here we go. The book that I thought I would never find. Well, this is one of 2 books that I thought I would never find. The New England Comics Newsletter, issue 15. This is the second appearance of the Tick. The first appearance is in the New England Comics Newsletter number 14, which I don't have. You never see these. It's printed on essentially newspaper paper. I think they were more or less giveaways in the mid '80s at New England Comics. So there was no reason to think about keeping them. There was no reason at all. I mean, they were just kind of told you what was coming out. And this is before the internet. Well, the proliferation proliferation of the internet. I guess the internet was around like the late 70s, early 80s, but it was more of a military installment at the time. Yeah, so I mean, I hope I can get 14 at some point in my life without dropping like $3 grand. I did not spend anywhere near that on this. In fact, I spent like less than $30 on it. I don't even know if it was really worth it. It's not in the greatest condition. You see the highlighter, but again, I will never see this out in the wild, and frankly, you don't see them on eBay. So I couldn't pass it up. Anyway, now on to the last book. So here we have The House of Secrets, number 92. This is obviously the first appearance of the Swamp Thing. This is one of those books that has just been on my want list forever, and I've just never been able to find it for a price that I was willing to pay. Mainly because, I mean, the Swamp Thing is an incredibly awesome character, but I mean, it's sort of, this scene has like the same kind of thing that Werewolf by Night 32 has with the Moon Knight, where it's like the book is worth more because of the cover than it probably should be, given the character whose first appearance is in it. And people tend to ask just a ton for this. Anyway, I found it for a great price. Did a little wheeling and dealing and trading, and I was able to get this week. And it took all of my willpower to not add this book into my Beauty Comics top 10 books that I would save in a natural disaster video. But I didn't want to spoil it. I wanted to save it for when I had enough books to do a haul and have its unveiling here. So there it is. Yeah. As usual, this has gone a little long, so I will say peace out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. Goodbye.